I just read this. Let's talk about it. I Hate Fairyland Volume 1 by Scottie Young. Now before we get into this, there's a good chance I'm going to spoil it for you. So if you don't want that to happen, just put this in your favorites and come back when you're ready to listen. The best way I could describe this book is if Wreck-It Ralph and Happy Tree Friends had a baby, that baby grew up to do a bunch of acid and then roleplay the entire movie of Deadpool. Or if Alice went down to Wonderland and just started cleaving heads off of all the little critters and creatures down there. Our main character Gertrude is in her room one night wishing her life had a little more excitement, and a black hole forms in her carpet and gives her just that. She falls all the way down to Fairyland and meets Queen Claudia. Now the Queen gives her what seems like a simple task. All she has to do is find a key and she can go home. She's given a map and a guide named Larry, who's awesome. Unfortunately, 27 years later, Gertrude still hasn't found the key. Now, through that 27 years, she has not made a lot of friends. Even her guide Larry doesn't like her that much. And the Queen likes her even less. Through the story, the Queen employs plenty of people to try and hunt Gertrude and get her to her end, but unfortunately for the Queen, she can't actually do anything herself to hurt Gertrude. In some sort of holy book of creation, it's stated the Queen cannot actually harm any guest of Fairyland. So she employs people to do it instead. Through the story, the Queen hires a couple people, some jacked barbarian with weird nipples, a crazy old witch, the Council of Elders, but Gertrude's battle tested at this point and easily slays anyone sent her way. Until one day the Queen has an idea. What if I bring in a new guest and that person finds the key before Gertrude? But luckily for the Queen, that means Gertrude will be a permanent citizen in Fairyland and the Queen could do whatever she wants to her. And on her first confrontation with this new guest, Gertrude has a little problem. She gets clapped. She's down but not defeated and decides to get a little more power. She goes to what I assume is like the equivalent of hell and meets this dude who's, I'm guessing, the devil, or like evil necromancer style guy. He's dressed in all this bone gear with flames coming out of his eyes and he gives Gertrude a test. If you can go through my dungeon and pass them all, I'll give you some power. Turns out she was good enough to do it all. While Gertrude's doing that, our new guest Happy is able to find the key and almost gets home until Gertrude comes back. Imbued with the crazy powers of this devil necromancer guy, Gertrude's able to easily put Happy in her place. And now it's time for her to get the key and go home. Or is it? The Queen has to make some snarky remark to Gertrude right before she's gone, and Gertrude blasts her away and makes her dust. And again, going back to that holy doctrine, that means Gertrude is now the Queen of Fairyland. I honestly love how this story flows. I love all the characters in it. There's not a lot of depth, so it's super easy to get through. I think my favorite character is Larry, because he always keeps that thing on him. There's one scene in here that super made me laugh. At one point, Gertrude is now like almost 40 years old, and she's smashing beers at this bar, and she wishes to be normal because she's so over it. Unbeknownst to her, she's drinking wish beer. Wouldn't that be nice? And she turns into what I'm just gonna say is Honey Boo Boo's mom. It looks like her whole body's made of cholesterol and she probably has like type Z diabetes. And she's like, Larry, what happened? And Larry's like, what'd you expect? You've been eating candy for the past 27 years. You're horrible. With all the gore and violence comes plenty of jokes and fun characters to look at, which makes this a hilarious ride to go through. I'd honestly probably give this story an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. I liked it, I enjoyed it, it was super easy to read. Definitely gonna pick up volume 2. Love the characters, love the action, love the violence, love the comedy. If you like something that's on the lighter side, not super heavy, but very fun, I highly recommend this book. And if you're not into this much violence, Scottie Young has plenty of good material you should check out. So that's what I think of I Hate Fairyland Volume 1. Let me know what I should read next.